This will be a video explaining how to do some of the questions from 7.C.1 Level 2. This quiz, just like 7.C.1 Level 1, is going to ask you to determine certain bits of information about a claim, like X or Y, or M or P, or X and Y here. When we know something about the entire claim, like in this case we know the entire disjunction is true, in this case we know the entire disjunction is false, and then it's going to ask us something about the individual part, and we have to figure out if we know whether it's true, false, or it could be true or false and we just don't know. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at number 7 here. For each of these quizzes, I suggest that you have a pen and paper handy if you're having trouble keeping track of information. When I look at question number 7, it tells me if X or Y is true, then what is X? Well, when X or Y is true, I need to go back to my truth tables in the book, if I don't have those memorized, and realize that when X or Y is true, that happens in multiple ways. For X or Y, the whole thing to be true, that means that maybe X is true or Y is false, maybe they're both true, or maybe X is false and Y is true. In any of those three cases, it would be true. So because there's a lot of options here and they tell me X is true, well, when I look at the truth table, there will be a case where X is true and Y is false and the whole thing is true. When X is true and Y is true, the whole thing is still true. So I'm not really sure what X is if this whole thing is true, because X could be true, in which case the whole thing is true. That's the X or Y is true or X or Y is false. But X could also be false, because maybe X is false. That would be the X is false, Y is true case, and this whole thing could still be true. So for this one, I would have to choose X could not be true or false, given the kind of claim that's made. If X or Y is true, that happens in three different cases. In one of those cases, X is true, and one of them is false. So it could be either or. And I would have to be able to go back to my truth table and look at it to know that that was the case. All right, now let's take a look at 6 up above it. 6 is different. 6 is going to tell me a different kind of claim, X and Y, and it's going to tell me X and Y is true. Again, I'm going to need to refer back to my truth tables, this time for X and Y, which is called a conjunction. For a conjunction, the whole thing to be true, both of the parts have to be true. So if this whole claim is true, I know that this is true and that's true. So when they ask me what is X, I know that X must be true. And that's how you would go through and answer the questions in this quiz. You're going to have to refer back to the truth tables in the book to figure out what is possible when the whole claim is true. And sometimes it's only one case, sometimes it's multiple cases, and then you have to figure out what do you know about one of the individual parts. Hopefully that was helpful. Good luck.